A very good evening. Sincerely, we're grateful that you are still live with us here on News 360. On my segment, we basically talk about business. And this evening, you've been there once, but let me take you back to the presidency once again, as today, January 7, marks exactly 2 years after John Dramani Mahama took the oath of office as President of the Republic of Ghana. A major challenge of his administration as Chief Executive of the country is the limping economy.
It will be recalled that the president's biggest challenge in the last 2 years has been the free fall of the cedi, which adversely affected several businesses. In line with this, the Bank of Ghana announced measures to help arrest the cedi from further decline, warning of financial sanctions, jail terms, suspension and revocation of the operating license of persons who flout the rules. It also directed that all transactions in the country should be conducted in Ghana cedi in compliance with Bank of Ghana notice dated October 10, 2012. Banks, hotels, schools, etc. were all ordered not to transact business in any foreign currency as part of measures to halt the free fall of the cedi. In the face of challenges in Ghana's economy in 2014, government, as part of efforts to revive the economy, organized what has become known as the Senchi Consensus. President Mahama marshaled the best economic brains in the country at a national economic forum held at Senchi in the eastern region. It was a 3-day forum which brought together heads of institutions and organizations, former governors of the Bank of Ghana, former finance ministers, government officials, civil society organizations, political parties and some policy think tanks to deliberate and prescribe solutions. Businesses welcomed the effort of government in salvaging the economy, but were quite critical at ensuring that government goes through with the implementation of the recommendations from the Senchi Consensus. Another headache President Mahama's administration struggled with and is still battling is the unstable power supply in the country. This has frustrated businesses, and just recently a load shedding timetable was drawn for industry to help them better plan according to the availability of power. The president has however promised to ensure that Dumso, as it has become known, is dealt with completely by middle of this year. There have been very visible developments as far as infrastructure is concerned, and the most notable of them is the Kwame Nkrumah Circle interchange, which the president has described as a tourist attraction. There is also the Kaswa interchange, the popular Sola Kalba Fufulso Road, the Eastern Corridor Road, amongst others. There is also the ongoing expansion works at the Kotoka International Airport, the completed Kumasi Airport, which is being upgraded to international standard, the Tamale Airport, which is also undergoing renovation geared towards expanding the transport sector of the economy for businesses to thrive. Government has also given indications that the country would have its own airline by March this year.
All right, so 2 years of the Mahama administration. You could visit our social media platforms and make your views heard. We'll definitely share it with the rest of the world. If you just joined us, you're still live on News 360. Let's do some other stories now. As a total of 144 projects valued at 5.5 billion cedis were registered in the country from January to September last year. Investors, however, had issues with taxes, macroeconomic stability and power.
With two of the investors, issues about tax disparities for those who produce locally and wholesale importers came up strongly among other concerns.
We don't think there is many benefits for the one who produce. I think the government or the institution of Ghana should differentiate the companies who produce here, exemption of taxes from raw materials and something, and differentiate from the people who import. They don't create added value to the companies. Then they don't create jobs like you can do. You can see the people working in the production.
The cost of electricity is another concern. According to the investors, the load shedding exercise has forced them to depend on generators, making them incur additional costs. They also talked about the long process of settling legal disputes.
Sometimes we have cases and adjournment, and you wonder, the judge can give some flimsy excuse and the case is adjourned. I sometimes just get fed up with adjournment. And sometimes the questions that they even pose to you, I'm talking about the lawyers, when somebody's owing you, is so harassing. So I think that, well, they are doing their work, but we have to get to a stage where we'll call a spade a spade. We'll fine-tune the legal process, because it's a major challenge for even the foreign investors.
Investors are offered various incentives, including tax exemptions, in order to encourage more investment. Despite these challenges, Ghana continues to attract foreign direct investment. The 144 projects were in the areas of agriculture, real estate, oil and gas, and the services sector.